Hi everyone. Let me start with a simple question. How many of you guys have set a big goal for yourselves? Like learning a new language, learning a new skill, or maybe even reading 10 books? How many? At first, it feels exciting, right? But then something happens. You think about how much effort you have to put in to achieve that. Then the goal feels huge, almost impossible. So many people do one of two things. First, they either delay starting, or they start with a lot of motivation and stop after a few days. But what if I told you success doesn't come from big actions? What if success comes from small steps repeated every day? Many people think that successful people made one big decision that changed their lives. But in reality, success usually grows much more slowly. Day by day, habit by habit, step by step. I realized this when I was preparing for my SAT exam. One of the hardest parts of the SAT exam is the vocabulary part. Almost every student from Azerbaijan struggles in there. As an ordinary Azerbaijan student, I was struggling too. There are hundreds of new English words. I thought to myself, how could I memorize all of these new words? The numbers seem too big. So instead of trying to learn everything at once, I tried a much smaller approach. I started to learn 5 new words every day. 5 words. It didn't seem much, right? It would only take me 10 to 15 minutes a day. But I started. At first, it didn't feel impressive. I only learned 5 words. But I continued. 5 more the next day. 5 more the other day. After 1 week, it was 35 words. After 1 month, it was 150 words. And eventually, before my exam started, I had already knew more than 300 words. And the interesting part is, it never felt overwhelming. Because I wasn't trying to learn everything at once. I was just taking small steps every single day. This idea appears in many areas of life. For example, one of the greatest football players of our generation is Cristiano Ronaldo. People often see his fame, success, achievements, or maybe even his money. But what they fail to see is the thousands of small efforts behind it. There's a famous story told by one of former teammates. He says that when he was first signed to Real Madrid, he wanted to come to the training session earlier than anybody else, as he wanted to adapt to the team more quickly. The next morning, when he came to the training facility, he saw that the lights were off. So he thought to himself, great, I am first here. But when he was changing his clothes in the dressing room, he heard some noises underneath him. When he went to check there, he there saw Cristiano Ronaldo. Not only he had already came here, but also he had already done his workout in the gym and now was swimming to recover his body. This is what small habits look like. Consistency, a little more every single day. Think about reading. Reading 10 pages isn't much, right? But if you do it every day for a year, that is more than 3,000 pages. And that is approximately more than 50 books. Or maybe think about mastering a new skill. Practicing 10 minutes isn't much. But if you do it every day for a period of time, eventually you could master that skill. At first, small steps don't look powerful. But after some time, they become incredibly powerful. There is a famous quote told by one of Chinese philosophers. It says that a journey of 3,000 miles starts with a single step. Without that single step, the journey will never start. And without them consistent steps, the journey will never continue. Success works identical. People often need huge motivation to start something. But habits are different. You don't need huge motivation to learn 5 words. You don't need huge motivation to practice something for 10 minutes. You don't need huge motivation to read 10 pages. So my conclusion is, if you want to achieve something meaningful, don't start with a huge volume one. Start with a much smaller one. And those small steps will lead to extraordinary results. Thank you.